Alright, here we go. I'm going to try to make this quick and try not to be boring. I got my notes right here, so if you see me looking this way, I'm looking at my notes. If I look this way, I'm looking at the camera. If I'm looking somewhere else, that means I'm lost. Anyway, I'm not going to be talking about the usual exhibitors like Avigilon, Axis, or A-Phone, Linnell that we visited on the floor, because the rest of the guys will take care of that. I'm talking about something else that was at the exhibit. It's called the Unmanned Aerial Systems. In other words, the drone exhibit. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about cool drone stuff, some not too cool drone stuff, some of the SIA classes that I took, and some other stuff that we did over in ISC West. So, alright, on to the cool drone stuff. So, there's a bunch of exhibits, drones, and it's not really that surprising to me since I'm familiar with technology, but they had more refined drones as platforms. They have different payloads like cameras, speakers, infrared and thermal cameras. So, I mean, we already knew that drones can take up those kinds of payloads. So, not really too surprising over there. We saw this one fixed wing drone, and it costs like $60,000 just for that drone. It doesn't include the cameras and stuff, and pretty cool stuff right there. They did have some new drone technology, a whole solution in one, so it'll be as an edge device. So if you're installing a camera as an edge device, so now they have a drone solution that you'll be installing as an edge device. This was presented by this company called Nightingale Security. Their solution was nice. It's like all-in-one, but it still looked a bit clunky and pretty huge, just the size itself. So I'm sure as technology and time goes by, they're going to be able to make things sleeker and more refined and more robust. And also, as the drone technology progresses, artificial intelligence is kind of keeping up with the pace, so that when we have drones as edge devices, that you don't need somebody in the base watching the video feed. With AI, the drones can do their thing, and if they recognize certain anomalous behavior, then they can send an alarm or respond in whatever ways you want them to respond. So AI is a big trend now. So in the same exhibit area, there's also some not too cool drone stuff. The anti-drone companies. They have companies that detect drones, and some companies that shoot nets to catch drones, and it was really interesting seeing drone exhibitors right next to anti-drone exhibitors. The one thing I noticed though is the anti-drone exhibits vastly outnumbered the drone exhibits. I probably saw 4 or 5 drone companies and maybe 8 or 10 anti-drone companies. It was just interesting seeing how the trend goes. I mean, does that reflect the consumer's demand? Do they really want anti-drone technology, or do they want better drone technology? So that's going to be interesting to keep track of. The other cool stuff I did was I went to some SIA classes. So the first 3 classes, it's stuff that we already know. For example, securing the video security system. They talked about don't use default passwords and stuff that we already do. So I really didn't get that much takeaway from that class. The other class, drones, robotics, and integration of video tech applications, was pretty much the same thing. It's just how companies are making payloads or cameras for different drones and getting the drones into a spot that they're just like edge solutions or edge devices. And security implications of drone technology, they just talked about the usual bad drones, and it wasn't really impressive. The bypassing and hacking access control systems, that was like the best one out of all of them. The lady who works at a company that does penetration testing of security systems. So she talked about one of the cases that they were doing. The client wanted to see how vulnerable their company was. So what they did was a mixture of social engineering, some off-the-shelf technology that anyone can put together. And with that, they started from the parking lot and worked their way all the way into the MDF. into the physical server of the company without being detected, without raising any alarm. They observed employees walking around. They have this HID reader on steroids. It's huge, and it has a range of I don't know how many meters, but you either put it in your backpack, or if you're in a car, have it by the window, and it can read the proximity cards or the badges. And so they got some information from that. And another thing was a DSLR camera with a zoom lens, and as employees walked by, so they took pictures of the badges to print badges of their own with similar looking logos and pictures. Another thing they did was they observed the security, how they do their rounds, their schedules, and they found that this one area of the building, the security pretty much left that area after visiting hours are over. So that was their point of entry. They used one of the cards that they made based on the information they got from the reader to gain access into that area. And they went to the security guard's workstation and inserted a keystroke logger, and it records every keystroke that is entered on that keyboard and sends that information via, however they want it, internet, Wi-Fi, to penetration testers. So they left that keystroke logger for 4 days or a week or something. They were able to get logons to their security system or to their access control manager or whatever software they were using. So now they have cards, they have schedules, they have passwords. They were ready to go in deeper into the company. The inside of the building, there's still card readers. So they have this device that you stick in line behind the card reader. Those are recording, every keystroke, every badge read. It sends the information via Wi-Fi or RF or whatever. And with that, they were actually able to log on to the security system from the parking lot using the company's Wi-Fi and unlock doors for the other guys to get into places in the building. So it was really cool. There's stuff there that we can use to prevent people from doing to our systems. So that was a really good class. I hope that wasn't too boring. Thanks for watching.